Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today in our Monsters of the Multiverse coverage, we're going to take a look at the Aasimar. All right, if you're just joining us, of course, please like and subscribe. Check us out at FryMinis.com and keep an eye out. We're adding more and more of these videos to the playlist. All the links are in the description. Check it out. This book is super cool so far, I think. And so now we're going to take a look at the Aasimar, a new or updated playable race here. So this used to be 3 races, so like sub races kind of thing, and now it's all merged into one cool race where you get choices, you get options. I think it's pretty neat, so let's take a look. All right, just like everything else here, we have the ability score increases. You get to pick, so you can do +2 and +1 or 3 +1s. Our languages, common, and one that makes choice for a character. Creature types vary based on the individual race's lifespan, about 100 years or so, unless mentioned otherwise. And same for height and weight based off of this chart. All right, everybody knows the tiefling, right? Tiefling, the infernal, the devil type people. So if we have devil type people, we need angel type people, and that's what the Aasimar are. And just like all the other things here, our lore on these is really trimmed down from a lot of the other sources. So let's learn a little bit first about the lore of the Aasimar. Whether descended from a celestial being or infused with heavenly power, Aasimar are mortals who carry a spark of the upper planes within their souls. They can fan the spark to bring light, ease wounds, and unleash the fury of the heavens. Aasimar can arise among any population of mortals. They resemble their parents, but they live for up to 160 years and often have features that hint at their celestial heritage. These often begin subtle and become more obvious when the Aasimar gains the ability to reveal their full celestial nature. The Aasimar Celestial Features table has examples you can choose or use as inspiration to create your own. The Aasimar Celestial Feature table is a D6. 1, a dusting of metallic white or charcoal freckles. 2, metallic, luminous, or dark eyes. 3, starkly colored hair. 4, an unusual hue tinting your shadow. 5, a ghostly halo crowning your head. 6, rainbows gleaming on your skin. Okay, first, that table's great. I love flavor tables like that. Just juicy little help you build your character. What do they look like? What do they feel like? That kind of thing. Rainbows on your skin, a weirdly colored shadow. Those are great. That's the kind of stuff that I absolutely just eat up. I love it. It's also the kind of stuff I include in all of our PDFs over at FryMinis.com/shop. A lot of them are for free. 160 years of age. That's interesting. That's a little tweak, little spice on there. Nothing bananas. It's not gonna be a 700-year-old elf or anything. But I would love to understand how these spring up. Is it like a bloodline thing? Is it just like, oh, some angel tears fell on somebody and now you're gonna have an Aasimar kid? I don't know. Or like, how do you explain, like, oh no, I don't have any of that in my family? No, you don't either? Well, So, I mean, whatever. And that's the kind of thing you can, of course, flavor for your individual character or tweak it for your setting on how these spring into existence. But this is something that we might see a little more than I think any of us would really want with this book of like, here's a potato. Potatoes can do some really great things, but you get to cook it. You get to turn it into mashed potatoes, into baked potatoes, into French fries. You get to do that work, but here's a potato. All right, let's look at some Aasimar traits. Aasimar are humanoid. You can choose to become medium or small. You choose this when you select your race. Walking speed of 30. Celestial resistance. You have resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage. This is something that I always think is really nice. You get 2 resistances, celestial and necrotic, and it can totally depends on the campaign that you're in, but that can be massive, but it can also be virtually meaningless. So how valuable that is will completely depend on which module, what the homebrew world, what the story, what kind of monsters you're fighting, all that kind of stuff. So this is one of those things I think can either be just absolutely mega powerful or a complete waste of points. Dark vision, you have 60 feet of dark vision. Healing hands. Healing hands, as an action, you can touch a creature and roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus. The creature regains a number of hit points equal to the total rolled. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So I like this. I think this is cool. The scaling, of course, scaling is always going to be nice. I think proficiency bonus scaling on racial features is really good. I'm always afraid when proficiency bonus is used on like super early on a class. So like if you give proficiency bonus on a level 1, so on a warlock subclass, like now great, now that's going to be super strong for the whole game. If you have to invest into it like a 5th level or something like that's, you've committed, you should get a little perk out of it. Here I think that's great. Number of d4s equal to proficiency bonus. I will say I kind of wish this was the just like copy and paste out of the Celestial Warlock, where you get a variable number of d4s that you can use individually. So even if you do that though, of course people are going, okay, well I get them up, I pop them up, they're unconscious, here you go. But I don't know. I think that can give you, especially because it's prolonged rest, I think that would give you a lot more utility out of it instead of just one blam. But small potatoes, I like what we've got. Light Bearer, you know the light cantrip. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for it. Now that's interesting because that is not one that you get to choose the ability for. So how often is it going to come up that you're going to need that? I mean, is anybody going to really try to counterspell your light cantrip? Realistically, no, but I don't know. I don't know why they didn't switch this. All right, here's the big one. Celestial Revelation. When you reach 3rd level, choose one of the revelation options below. Thereafter, you can use a bonus action to unleash the celestial energy within yourself, gaining the benefits of that revelation. Your transformation lasts for 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action. Once you transform using your revelation, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. All right, so this is kind of how we are getting those subclasses back. And I think this is a neat thing that another thing you'll see throughout these videos here is that it seems like they're just getting rid of sub races and either making what was a sub race a total standalone race, or it's like built in like a feature choice. And I'm okay with that. I think that's neat. It seems easier. Necrotic Shroud. Your eyes briefly become pools of darkness, and ghostly, flightless wings sprout from your back temporarily. Creatures other than your allies within 10 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a charisma saving throw, DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier, or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Until the transformation ends, once on each of your turns, you can deal extra necrotic damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus. Okay, so the damage here used to be, rather than your proficiency bonus, used to be equal to your level. So that's a lot. So, I mean, every single turn, like take it to the extreme, you're doing 20 extra damage. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. Reducing it to your proficiency bonus, like, I mean, that's a pretty solid reduction, but honestly, I'm okay with it. I'm fine. Radiant Consumption. Searing light temporarily radiates from your eyes and mouth. For the duration, you shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. And at the end of each of your turns, each creature within 10 feet of you takes radiant damage equal to your proficiency bonus. Until the transformation ends, once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus. Okay, I need somebody to help me. I've seen some scuttlebutt saying that we don't think that this hurts us anymore, hurts ourselves. But creatures within a distance of you, you're still a creature within a distance of you. just like you can target yourself as a creature with spells. So if anybody has clarification, leave a comment. I'd love to hear this. But as I read it, at first blush, I think you're still taking the damage. But I like this just like blinding light, just and it's just like burning you up. I think it's cool. Radiant Soul. 2 luminous spectral wings sprout from your back temporarily. Until the transformation ends, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed, and once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target when you deal extra damage to it with an attack or spell. This extra damage equals your proficiency bonus. Okay, so we have our fear effect with our extra damage. We have a light brightness with little nearby AoE damage plus our extra damage, and we have a flying version with our extra damage. I think it's a good variety. I think it gets your different kind of aspects of what an Aasimar should be. I mean, it could be absolutely be scary. I think that's appropriate. It can just be like brilliant glory ball, or it can just be a nice little angel flying around. I do wish, I don't know. Let me know. I kind of think it'd be nice if we had an option to switch these around. Not all the time, but maybe like whenever your proficiency bonus increases, you can swap something like that. So you get a little bit of flexibility, because like, I don't know, if you like the flying speed might be super great when you get this thing at 3rd level, but then you're like, oh wait, I'm a wizard, I can just cast fly at 5th level, and you want to switch it out. I mean, I think that's reasonable to allow that infrequent, especially with all the stuff in Tasha's, where you can swap out your fighting styles and all that. I think that would be okay. All right, so that's the Aasimar. I think it's pretty solid. I mean, I think we're kind of reduced a little bit in some of the maximum potential damage for some of these options, but I think overall this is a stronger package. I think it's more reasonable. I think I really like things that are like, at this level you can pick XYZ and go with it. I do wish we had a little flex, but not a big deal. I like it. I'm still just a little let down by the lore compact here. Okay, so what do you think? Keep an eye out for more videos. Check us out, FryMinis.com. See you soon.